Rollercoaster Tycoon 3 tips. I prefer to place the smaller rides near the entrance, like the kids' rides. And the as you get to the corners, I start to put the more challenging rides, and then the roller coasters and the animal exhibits tend to be far away. These are examples of some of the smaller rides and the kids' rides right here, and the entrance would be, I'm pretty sure it's to the left. I try to play the smallest rides of 3x3s near each other, and then I build the 4x4s near each other, just to kind of make the path a little bit straight. Remember that rides need to be activated before people will start using them. They have to be made open. Every building, all the little stalls and rides, you have to set them to open, including the transport rides. You can build animal pens with roller coasters running through them. You can also mix some animals, and animal pens can be odd shapes. So here's an example of a roller coaster that is going over an animal pen. And remember that the viewing gallery needs to be turned on. The viewing gallery for the animal pens, in order to make the animal pen a ride that a person can visit, you have to have a viewing gallery and you have to turn it on. Notice that the fence is broken over here. One of the most fun items in the game is the water cannon. So the person here on the left is sitting on a water cannon and spraying people in the pool. Use as much of space as possible to make ride entrances, such as the chairlift station. So in this case, the ride begins on the left, is where people get onto the ride. And I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tiles for the chairlift station. You'll notice that only a few of them have a chair, and the reason why is because the other side is a shorter station and can only hold fewer chairs. Most people are crowded near the entrance. It's best to place the ATMs, shops, etc. along the entrance. Here's an example of how crowded it is, along with the stations for transport rides, because a transport ride can take people far away on the park. So you want to put those near the entrance. And you see over here on the left, there's a large ride that takes up many tiles. You probably don't want those near the entrance because people are just going to be walking past a ride that they can't get on. You want to have as many ride entrances and shops where the busy traffic is. Place your entrance and exits for rides so that you can build a longer entrance, allowing visitors to wait in line for the ride. So over here, you've got the exit, and you've got the entrance over here, and I used all of the available space. There's one little tile that went unused. What I could have done is made this a regular path, turned this into a stall, and moved the entrance a little bit to the right. But you'll see that I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tiles for people to queue up in the entrance. Use empty spots for retail shops. This green tile could have a shop placed there. Try to have at least 2 coasters per ride because it will make loading and unloading faster. If you have a coaster, if you only have one, when the coaster's on the ride, there'll be no one getting on and off. So you want to have at least two. And you can run multiple coasters at the same time, which means you would have a third one waiting. Rides that are far away will get less ridership. Fewer people go to the other side of the map. For example, over here you see it says customers, it says 0 per hour, popularity 10%, total customers 3. And it was built 3 years ago. You can bring people across the map using a transport ride. The advantage to distant rides will be shorter wait times. So if you've got a popular roller coaster, the wait time to get on that is going to be really short. People that like to ride on roller coasters aren't going to have to wait in line. If you build rides going through the map as opposed to along the edge, people will go deeper into the map. So, for example, you can build the chairlift and other transport rides going through the map instead of along the edge. And a roller coaster, you can do the same thing. You could build a roller coaster so you move people from one place to another as they ride on the ride. Reduce litter by having many trash cans and many janitors. If people see too much litter, they might leave the park early. So what you're looking at here, this is a pre-manufactured roller coaster. You just copy it and paste it. You can use the pre-built coaster. There are many pre-built coasters is enough to fill an entire large park. Many of the designs are very well done. They're very colorful. It will save you a lot of time with park development. And many of the small coasters will fit into the empty spaces that you have within larger roller coasters. You can mix some animals in the same pen. In this case, you have horses and zebras in the same pen, and notice that it also has an irregular shape to the pen. You also have a roller coaster that goes over the animal pen. So what I did was I have a section that has my roller coasters, and I went underneath and I built animal pens in the space underneath the roller coasters. You can also build swimming pools in those spaces. These screenshots are from my actual game. Some rides, such as museums and aquariums, can be placed under roller coasters. This is an aquarium under a roller coaster. Roller coasters have a lot of building space that could be used for shops and small rides. So I put 3 shops over here in the space between the entrance and the exit of the roller coaster. There's a transport ride, an underground train. You will have plenty of room for shops, but pathways might be difficult to build if you build across the coaster. So you've probably already discovered that if you need to have people walk from one side of a coaster to another and go through the coaster, it could be very difficult to build the pathways and sometimes impossible. Swimming pools can be connected via elevated walkways. All pools can be connected into one giant pool complex. So you see over here, I have a pool on the left with an entranceway, a changing room. There's a staircase and a walkway that goes to a pool on the right that splits up into 2 different pools. One goes on the lower level, and the other one, you climb the stairs to go connect to the other pool complex. In the middle, there's a small pool with a changing room that's not connected to the other pool complexes. And this is it right here. So this space was not big enough to put a ride. I could have put 3 shops and another 3 shops, but I decided to make a little swimming pool. A large park will need a lot of handymen, and it will take them a long time, I spelled the long wrong, to walk to distant rides. If a ride is popular, make sure you have a handyman visit that ride frequently. Nice screenshot I did here. So we got a handyman here. There's one also on the left and perhaps another one next to him. I believe you can also assign them to different zones and they'll stay in their area. And like I said, if a ride is popular, you probably want to have the handyman visit frequently. Transport rides should be used to transport people long distances. I use this type of a ride, these little trains, to move people across the map, and it can work. It can definitely work. Many trash cans will keep your park clean. Benches are good for people to rest. If you have litter, people won't like it. They'll leave the park. If you have damage to your benches, like a broken bench, or if people get tired, or if they have nausea, a lot of issues going on. If they get sick, they might get sick onto the ground. They might vomit onto the ground. There might be litter on the ground. You need the janitor to clean everything up. You need the security to make sure people don't vandalize the benches or the trash cans or other property. And you need the handyman probably to fix everything. If you do not upkeep the park, people will leave early. then you lose money. You want to keep people there as long as possible. When designing your rides, check your test results. You want low intensity and high intensity to meet the visitor demand because some people want low intensity, some people want high intensity. Nobody wants nausea. You should place medical facilities near rides that have high nausea ratings. We're going to look real quick. It says test results. There's a chart. There's a flag to turn it on or off. This probably adds the number of carts. This is what people think of the ride. This is obvious. You'll figure it out. This is some dude, probably maintenance related. This is probably charts like about how much money it's made and stuff like that. This might be a list of all the people that have visited it, and this has to do with the entranceway, but I don't remember what it is. It's ghosted out. You can check each visitor to see what his needs and demands are and whether he has money. So we got a visitor over here. He wants the high intensity rides. He's been in the park 41 minutes. He has high tolerance. Happiness is medium, energy is high, hunger is low, thirst is low, no nausea. He's got a lot of sunburn, toilet is low. So he needs suntan lotion, but otherwise he's doing pretty good. You have to open a retail shop or ride after you place it. And that's with where this red flag is. You got to make it green. You can go to the park management and go to park operations and you can turn everything on at once. Attractions. This is the button where you turn everything on. It's a little red and green flag on the lower right. You can locate any closed rides or shops using the menu. Go to park management, which is the little white chart. Then attractions, which is up at the top, probably has this little shop logo. You can set all ride stalls to open in case you missed one using the red-green flag option on the lower right. And it only affects either rides or stalls, objects, pools, animal pens. You can place trash cans and benches on elevated pathways. You can use elevated paths to cross over transport rides, roller coasters, etc. We've got a train underneath and a railroad underneath the pathway. You can build roller coasters and trains over other rides, pathways, and animal pens. So you see over here, there's a roller coaster that comes across, and we've got a pathway underneath. We've got rides underneath. Part of the roller coaster is going over one of the rides, and the other part is going over another ride. It looks like there's a swimming pool with two changing rooms, so it's obviously going over a swimming pool. Okay, so that's it for my Rollercoaster Tycoon 3 tips. You can go into my video game forum at cheapbooks.cc if you wish to read more.